Okay, good morning, all. This is Tom Basie once again on Tuesday morning. It's 7:30 or thereabouts. And today we're going to have Michele Badalamenti, and she's going to tell us all about the time that we need to take to make our morning makeover. It's time for a morning makeover, Michele Badalamenti. But first, we're going to hear from our group here, and then we'll turn it over to Michele. So, without further ado, we're going to say good morning. I'm going to hit on Jeff Hexter. Good morning, Jeff.
Thanks, Tom. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeff Hexter with Always Keep Computing. I work with professionals working from their home who have lifty Wi-Fi, printers that aren't printing, emails that aren't sending, and other weird tech issues. So I love working with those people. One of the things I do for free is every Wednesday, so not next week, this week I'll be there. I'll be at Jack's Deli at the corner of Cedar and Green Roads from 9 to 11 a.m. I grab breakfast there and I answer computer questions for free for anybody who joins me for breakfast. So if you're in the area, stop by at Jack's Deli and I'd be happy to help you out.
Yes.
Jeff Hexter, Always Keep Computing.
Thank you, Jeff. And just for continuity, this is August 3rd, so he won't be there tomorrow, August 4th.
I'll be there tomorrow, but I won't be there a week later.
Oh, it's a week from tomorrow you won't be there.
Correct.
But normally Jeff is there, and it is good. I went there a few times, and it's a good group, and he helps people out with their devices. Now we'd like to say good morning to Bridget Corrigan. Good morning, Bridget.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bridget Corrigan. I am an insurance agent with the independent insurance agency, the Brooks and Stafford Company. We're located in the heart of downtown Cleveland. And fun fact, we're actually older than sliced bread. We're almost 200 years old. I primarily focus in commercial and personal lines. However, with the help of my extraordinary mentor, I have also been starting to look into the life and health. And my mentor, as you will see, is Mike Bentley, who you will hear from shortly. And if you ever need anything, please give me a call. I'm happy to help and answer any questions.
Excellent. Thank you, Bridget. Thanks for being here. And now we'd like to say good morning to Rob Lord. Good morning, Rob. How are you?
I am doing well, everybody. Good morning. Rob Lord here. I am a financial advisor, and that's a very boring title, but I help you get to where you want to be financially so you don't have to worry about it. I steer the ship through the calm seas and try to avoid the hurricanes.
Excellent.
And that's what I do. I work for Thrivent Financial, and I don't have any fun facts today.
Okay. Well, we're glad you're here, Rob. Thank you. Now we'd like to say good morning to Brian Diamond. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, all. Brian Diamond with Springboard Capital Group. We help companies get working capital and build business credit. We do all types of loans. We do working capital loans, secured and unsecured loans, real estate investor loans, merchant cash advances, and many other types of business lending.
Excellent. Thank you, Brian. And thanks for being here. Thanks for coming by. Now we'd like to say good morning to one of our old friends. Old, and I don't mean old, but I mean, he's been around with us for a while. That would be Ari Tayomi. Good morning, Ari. We're so happy to see you.
Very old, very old. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ari Tayomi, Lasting Impression Direct. We are full-time, full-service printing and direct mail company. We help customers to engage with their customers and their prospects. We help people to get more customers. They will pay them more money more often. Ari Tayomi, Lasting Impression Direct.
Excellent. Thank you, Ari, and thank you for being here. And let's see. He's almost ready. I think I'll go ahead. My name is Tom Basie, and I'm an IT professional. I handle Wi-Fi, website design, computers. I can help you use your computer better, improve your productivity with the computer, and I can also improve the computer itself. If it's not running like it used to, I can probably help you. If we need to get another one, I'll tell you what one is good for you. So that's Tom Basie. I'm an IT professional, and you can always find me right here at the Network Breakfast on YouTube. Thank you. Now we'd like to say good morning, and we're so happy to see him. It's Marty Kelbell. Good morning, Marty.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here and seeing everyone. I'm an agent for Caldwell Banker Smith Realty.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a dream home or the perfect home, if it's out there, I will find it for you.
Ooh.
This is a great time to sell a house. The other side of that coin, if you buy a house, you're also going to pay a premium because they're selling for a premium and you're also going to buy for a premium. For those who want to build, I have a connection to a builder who will build on your lot at a reasonable price and for the design exactly for you. So if you want to do that, I can help you find a piece of property to do that too. If you want to live outside of Ohio, I can help you with that because we have offices everywhere in the country. And we have about 30 plus offices around the world in other countries. So wherever your dream spot may be, I can help you. You have any friends or relatives that might be interested, please give me a call at 216-544-4164. Thank you and have a great day.
Well, thank you, Marty, and thanks for being here. We're so happy to see him again. And now it's time for Ask Mike. We're going to hear from Mike Bentley, and we're so happy to see him too. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, all. Great to be with you. I'm Mike Bentley from the Brooks and Stafford Company, and I work with Bridget Corrigan, and we are a full-service insurance agency that's been around for approaching now close to 150 years. We're downtown Cleveland, and my area of experience primarily is in the health insurance field, working with small businesses, non-for-profits, those that are transitioning between jobs in the individual market. And we work especially with those who are graduating to Medicare. We have lots and lots of Medicare clients, not only here in the state of Ohio, but throughout the country, especially in the retiree areas, the sunny, warm areas. So if you have any questions concerning your health insurance or coverage or approaching Medicare age, give me a call at the Brooks and Stafford Company. And I am very privileged to be able to introduce our speaker this morning, who happens to be my daughter, Michele. And Michele is from originally the Cleveland area, graduated from Solon High School, graduated from Miami University, went to work in the corporate world with Procter & Gamble, and ended up in the South, in Charlotte, North Carolina. She no longer works at Procter & Gamble, but she works full-time in being a mom, a stay-at-home mom and wife. And she also is very successful in an at-home business as an accountability coach. And with that, I'm happy to turn our morning session over to Michele.
Thank you, Dad. And Bridget, I will have to say that Mike Bentley is also my mentor as well. So I just
He's a good one.
Yes. First of all, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for inviting me back to speak with all of you. This is my third time, second virtually, and the fourth is going to be in person. I have high hopes for that. The fourth time will be in person. But, I wanted to spend some time with you guys talking about your morning routines, especially as small business owners and entrepreneurs. It is so important for you to have a solid morning routine to set you up for a successful day, because your morning really does set the tone for your entire day. Now, the fact that I'm even sitting here speaking about a morning routine kind of blows my mind, because just 3 years ago, as a stay-at-home mom, my kiddos used to be my alarm clock, and I would spend all day at home, and my husband would come home from work at 4:30 and I would change my clothes. So he actually thought I did something during the day. So to go from that to waking up intentionally every single morning at 4 a.m. like I do now, you can definitely say that I have had a Morning Makeover. I have 2 children. I'm a full-time mom, and I also am a full-time health and wellness coach. And so with that, I had to learn how to run my days so that my days didn't run me. So what I wanted to do today was share with y'all some practical tips that I have found through my personal development and just personal experiences that have helped me make over my morning to increase my productivity, my energy, and my overall output in both my professional and my personal life as well. So that's what I wanted to do with all of you today. Now, speaking of technology, my dad this morning was talking about like 30% of people are working from their bed right now. There has been such a gray area, especially with COVID and this new virtual age of work life that we are in right now with technology. And as we've seen from these networking breakfast meetings, technology is a blessing, like right now, how you're able to come together, but there's also some downsides to technology as well. And so I want to just throw it out here. How many of you checked your phone this morning from your bed?
I definitely did.
Okay. So a study recently came out from IDC research that found that 80% of people check their phones within 15 minutes of waking up in the morning. Now, if you're anything like I was, when I would check the weather, it was never just the weather, right? You open the weather app, you see a text message, you check your work email, then you're angry because your client or your customer says something and you feel like and what started off as the weather trickles into somehow you are on your 3rd news article from the app that you didn't even mean to open in the morning. And somehow you've just wasted 30 minutes of your morning without even getting out of bed. And what usually happens is we feel stressed out, overwhelmed. It makes us difficult to prioritize our tasks. And we are in a state of defense before we even get out of bed in the morning, right? You feel like lack of control. All this noise and news is coming at you, right? And so what I want to do today is to break that cycle, break that bad habit, and help you win your morning so that you can win your day. So can you all see my screen here? I'm going to share my deck. Can I get a head nod or a thumbs up? Can you see? Okay, awesome. So before we begin, I just want to go over some of the benefits of having an established morning routine. First and foremost, you're going to feel more in control of your schedule. You will be running your days. Your days aren't going to be running you. Number 2, you're going to be able to prioritize your time. Number 3, you're going to be in a state of being proactive instead of reactive. Taking a proactive approach to your physical and mental health is so important. 4, you're going to be able to anticipate some things coming your way. It's going to give you a feeling of being more centered, in control, and capable, and build your confidence to conquer anything that comes your way throughout the day. And then it's going to make it easier for you to develop long-term healthy habits. There is a lot of reasons why you should have a solid morning routine. I'll just put it at that. So I want you to think, and you can type in the chat if you want, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your current morning routine? My dad went out and walked 3 miles this morning. My dad was up before me this morning. But think about that. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your current routine? And if you don't have a routine, that's fine too. But I want you to think about why you gave, okay, Jeff, why is it a 2.78? Like what about your morning routine made you put that number down?
Well, it's, the first few digits of the number E. People ask me to pick a number between 1 and 5. I go with E or pi. That's why. So, but yeah, there was, why is it a 2.78? I have some morning routines, but they always get disrupted by other people's morning routines. How's that?
All right. Lack of control. Awesome. Brian, a 2. Okay, so we're in the same ballpark here. Just wanted to get a feel as we go into this as to how you guys are feeling about morning routines. By a show of hands, do you guys wake up at the same time every single day? Do you set an alarm the same time every day? Do you set an alarm at all? Alarms, yes, no, maybe
Nope.
so. 5:59, love it. I'm gonna start using
Depends,
that.
it depends on the day.
Depends on the day. And weekends, I know, and weekends look different than weekdays. I get that. So, okay, as I'm going throughout this presentation, I want you to think about the number that you established in the beginning of this call and the things that we're going to talk about to see how we can bring up the average of the group here. And I apologize, a block over, they're mowing the lawn, but it's going to be a lot less noisier out here than if I go inside with my 2 kids. So bear with me. Okay. So some things that I want to share with you guys today is actually some of the techniques I learned from the book, The Morning Miracle. Have you guys ever heard of the book, The Morning Miracle, or heard of Hal Elrod? I knew Jeff was going to say yes. I was looking at him the minute I picked up the book. But if you have never read The Morning Miracle, I highly suggest reading it. It's an easy read depending on your speed and time. You could probably read it in about 2 days. But there are some great practical tips that I'm going to give you kind of the Spark Notes version of today as we go through. And I want you to remember this acronym, SAVERS. So SAVERS, and I'm going to go through each one with you, but these are daily habits that you can incorporate into your morning routine that will literally help you transform your day before 8 a.m. And I see some chats coming up here. You did not enjoy the 5 a.m. club. All right. Well, I'll be interested to hear what you think about this one. Okay. So as I mentioned, if you want to win your morning, you've got to win your day. So the first S in SAVERS stands for silence. Now, if you're anything like me, when I hear about silence, meditation sounded really woo-woo to me. But starting your day in silence is so important, whether it's meditation, prayer, breath work, or a gratitude journal, just anything that can quiet your mind, block the chatter, and start your day with calm thoughts. Right? So starting off in a sense of silence is strength. Right now, it seems like most of us are starting our days with an alarm and then a bunch of notifications from the news or a bunch of notifications from your email, right? No, we need to start the day feeling in control in that presence of silence. Now, me personally, I am a huge advocate for gratitude. Right now, I have a nice little gratitude journal. I'm not saying y'all need a gratitude journal, but every single day I start off writing down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I recommend that everyone do some sort of gratitude practice to start your day, because when you know every day that you are going to start your day writing down 3 blessings or 3 things you're grateful for, you're going to start seeing more of those things throughout your day. So when you know tomorrow I got to write down 3 things I'm grateful for, you're going to notice yourself picking up on things. It's like a scavenger hunt for gratitude the day before. This morning, my daughter was at Heinen's yesterday with my parents and bought flowers for my anniversary. And this morning when that happened, when I saw those flowers, I was so grateful for it. And I said, I'm going to write that in my gratitude journal this morning, right? So it's a mindset shift. And it doesn't have to be anything formal like a journal, but just 3 things that you're grateful for. So I want you guys to start off here. I know I'm not silent, I'm talking, but if you have a pen, write down 3 things that you're grateful for right now. They can be simple. It could be a hot cup of coffee. It could be something bigger than that. Maybe you get to spend the day with a family member, but whatever it is, I want you to write down those 3 things right now. And I challenge you for the next week until your next network breakfast meeting to start your day writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. The other thing that I will say is every day I write something down different. And it's kind of like my dad, every day he prays for different people every single day, right? So every day this week, I want you to write down 3 different things. Don't just say I'm grateful for the sunshine, my health, and whatever every single day this week. I challenge you to think differently and write down 3 different things that you're grateful for.
Could I make a comment, Michelle?
Yes,
about
of course.
the
And I want this to
gratitude?
be interactive. So please feel free
right.
to jump in.
So several years ago, on my drive into work, I decided I would make it a time of prayer of thanksgiving. And I challenged myself every day to be thankful for 10 different things or people. And I could not repeat those 10 for the rest of the week. So in other words, every week I had to come up with 70 things. Now, it's easy at first because you're thankful for your family, your spouse, your children, your grandchildren, and maybe the first day it's easy, but then you start getting into day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you want to come up with 10 new things in which you're grateful for or thankful for. And I would start to think, well, you know, I'm very blessed to have this car. This car runs well, it's in good mechanical condition. I'm blessed to have this home. I'm blessed. So it goes beyond something that's almost rote. Thank you for my family. You start to really delve in to your day. Oh, thank you for allowing me to run into Jeff Hexter. I haven't seen Jeff in person in months. And so I would do 10 a day, different things, sort of like a gratitude journal, but I wouldn't write them down. I would mentally just try to keep track. What haven't I been thankful for this week? Yeah.
And I love that. And it's great that everyone's practice will look a little bit different, and you have to take the practice and apply it to your lifestyle. So that morning commute, instead of listening to, you know, just random music, it's being more purposeful with your drive. I will say that actually writing down the things that I'm grateful for I started this practice last September, and it has been wonderful, especially during COVID. And when you're having those bad days, to literally have a book filled with blessings and the goodness in your life. And I'll reflect on that when I'm having those bad days. The other thing that I will say is I have a personal rule for myself. I call it sweat in scripture before screen. And so I talked to you about, you know, how 80% of us reach for our phones. And I'm going to go through my whole morning routine, but in a nutshell, this is like how I've summed it up. Sweat in scripture before screen is I use my phone, social media, all of that is almost like a reward for getting my morning routine done. So I get my workout in, and then I spend my quiet time, my personal development. And then once I have done all of that, then I go on my phone. So I do not open any email. I don't open any text messages. I don't open the weather app until I have gotten my morning routine done. And I let the word for me, so like scripture and my quiet time, before I let the world inform me. And so those are just a couple principles that I've lived by and some boundaries that I've established that's helped me protect my peace in the morning before all the news and everyone else kind of comes at me. I fill that morning time of silence with sweat and scripture before screen. So, okay. So that's number 1. Number 2, the A is affirmations. So these are encouraging words you tell yourself to achieve your goals, overcome your fears, to be healthy and live with purpose. Again, I thought affirmations were very woo-woo. But you know, especially as women, over 80% of women have self-deprecating thoughts every single day, whether it's about motherhood, body image, and it's almost just as high for men, just in different areas. And so you know, think of Muhammad Ali saying that he was the greatest. He said it over and over until he became it, right? So you've probably heard this before, like whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And a way to increase your confidence is to fill and flood your mind with words of encouragement and positivity. Every night before I do my prayers with my daughter, she does affirmations. And she chooses those affirmations. I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm beautiful, I am brave. And, you know, if you're someone that struggles with self-confidence, saying those things over and over, you're eventually going to start to believe it, and it's going to become the soundtrack to your life. And so I know me personally, I pick 3 affirmations that I reflect on every single day, and I have them written down and I have them on display above my coffee maker. So it's something that I see every single day when I'm making my coffee, and I see those affirmations. I have other challengers and coaches on my team that they write 5 affirmations and they put it on a Post-it, and it's on their mirror in their bathroom. Some people take a dry erase, and it can be a dry erase marker, and they'll write it, but it can be, you know, I am statements. So I am a leader. I am, you know, a loving father. I am, and you write what those are and put them visible and read them every single day. You have a t-shirt that says I'm the person you know. I love that. The other thing is I also have affirmations for my vision. So like in my business, we have certain milestones in our business, and I am not a 5-star diamond leader yet, but I say it. I am a 5-star diamond leader, and I say it over and over again. And so again, affirmations, very in the beginning when I started doing it, it felt very weird. But it's all about building that confidence in you, and just taking 5 minutes to do that every single day is so important. So again, reading them daily and making them visible is super important. Okay. So next is visualization. I did the last call with you guys. I went through like vision boards with you and the importance of having a vision for your business and goal setting. So one thing that I do every single day is I personally look at my vision board, but visualization can be such a broader, it can be much broader than pulling out a vision board and looking over it. It's really just imagining yourself doing the tasks that you need to do that day to achieve your goals and what it will feel like to succeed. So this morning, I actually did this. When I was getting ready this morning, I visualized myself outside, sitting at this table on Zoom with a hot cup of coffee, laughing, engaging. Like I visualized how I wanted this call to go this morning before it even happened. So it's something so simple, but it makes a huge difference. So visualize. I want you guys to think, what is on your docket for your day today? What meetings do you have? How do you want to feel coming out of that meeting? How do you want to feel? What energy, what do you want to achieve? What does success look like coming out of your 2 o'clock call, your 4 o'clock client meeting? What does success look like? How do you want to feel when you come home and you greet your spouse at the end of the day, or when you log off, or when you, so visualize that. Think about that as you go into your call. Again, it doesn't take that much time, but it's going to help you overcome your limiting beliefs. It's going to help you overcome procrastination, and it's going to cause you to take action steps. I visualized myself drinking a hot cup of coffee this morning, and that caused me to go get that hot cup of coffee and bring it out here for today. The other thing I will say about affirmations, be bold. I do little things like this. I have coffee mugs and things around my house as visual reminders of affirmations. And it sounds silly, but when you see those things over and over, it really does make a big difference. Okay, so that's visualization. All right, here's one I'm super passionate about, the E, exercise, right? You got to eat that frog. Exercise, you all know there's so many amazing health benefits, but me personally, I love doing it first thing in the morning to get your heart rate up, get the happy endorphins flowing. And exercise really is a metaphor for life. So conquering a challenging workout first thing in the morning gives you the confidence that you can conquer the rest of your day. And how many of us have put off going, like, go for a walk? It doesn't have to be like a 30-minute cardio, right? It could be just waking up in the morning and getting outside and going for a walk. But motion creates emotion. Okay, motion creates emotion. So if you want to start your day strong, you got to move your body. and how good does it feel? It probably doesn't feel good when that alarm goes off in the morning to go for that walk or do that exercise. But about 10 minutes in, you've got the endorphins going, your heart rate is up, and it feels great. And it has a ripple effect on the rest of your day. And checking a box first thing in the morning, that motivates you to check the next box and check the next box and check the next box. And I could go on with the whole entire presentation on how to overcome snooze, hitting the snooze button, but I'm not going to do that here. But again, think about that. Eat that frog is the theory that, you should do the thing that you dread the most first thing in the morning. So what is it? If you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, that's the worst thing you're going to do all day, right? And exercise really is that for some people. It's something that they'll say, oh, I'll do it later, or I'll do it on my lunch break, or I'll do it when I get home from work. No, eat the frog, get it done. Back when I was working in corporate, my dad always told me, like, send that email or make that phone call to that customer that you really don't want to make first thing in the morning, right? Eat that frog. And so for a lot of people, that's exercise. For me, that's my favorite part of the day, but come a long way. Okay. Reading. Jeff has no books at all, right? You don't read at all. No. Curious, how many of you guys spend time reading, not on your phone, not the news on your phone or email, but actually spend time reading something in the morning? Let's see. Audiobooks. And that's a great one too. Podcast audiobooks, if you're in the car, filling that time with something for your personal growth. I have so many recommendations for audibles and podcasts, but filling your thoughts and ideas to improve yourself. Reading really is an important part of a morning routine. I want you to think about this, and I have another challenge for you. I gave you the gratitude challenge. I challenge you to read, find a book. If you need recommendations, reach out to me. I've got some great ones. I already told you The Miracle Morning, if you're looking to start a new morning routine. Atomic Habits is a great one. Right now, I love John Maxwell. I'm reading 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. So again, I've got so many recommendations I can make for you. I don't care what you're reading, but I want you to incorporate it into a daily morning practice. So think about this. If you commit to just reading 10 pages a day, so many people say, I don't have time, I'm too busy. You have 10 pages, like you could do that in no time, like 5 minutes. I'm not talking sit and read 30 minutes a day, just 5 minutes of reading a day. If you read 10 pages a day over the course of a year, that's 3,650 pages. Okay. And on average, let's just say like an average personal development book's like 200 pages or something. That's 18 personal development books a year. There's a compound effect. So many of us are so afraid of starting small, right? Like, I can't run a marathon, but you can walk 10 minutes a day. I don't have time to read, a novel, but you can read 10 pages a day. There is a compound effect of that. So think about that. 10 pages a day. Can you commit to your daily gratitude practice and 10 pages a day? Is anybody reading? I'm just curious. Is anybody reading a book right now? Drop it in the chat. What are you guys reading? Jeff, I mean, I knew you were reading. You're probably reading right now while I'm doing this presentation.
I don't have a chat, but Michelle, I'm reading a book called Winning right now by athletic trainer Tim Grover. I don't know if you've heard that.
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to look at that one.
If you ever, I don't know if you have a sports background or anything, but honestly, the writer Tim Grover, he's wonderful. He was the athletic trainer for Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and Michael Jordan, and he has just this really awesome mentality of just mental strength and how to think. And
Relentless. I read that book.
Yeah, Relentless is his first book, and he just came out with a new book called Winning. It's really good. I'm only on like the second chapter, but it's already really good.
Okay, I'll have to. Yeah, Relentless. Yeah, Relentless was good.
Yeah, the Winning has been I've already seen reviews, and I can see it a little bit. Like, this is better than Relentless.
Okay.
So highly recommend it.
Okay, awesome. I liked Relentless. I didn't like it as much as other people had recommended it. I was like, but I'm hoping that winning too. I'll look into that. Thanks for sharing that. I totally forgot about that book. Okay. So the last part of Savers is scribing, journaling. We kind of talked about this. You know, there's a couple ways that I scribe. You didn't like Relentless either. Okay, good. Yeah, I felt like so many people talked that book up and I was, yeah. So the last bit is scribing. So every day after I do my morning workout, I do my personal development, I do my devotions, and I write in my gratitude journal. But in addition to that, I also take some time to brain dump. I literally take all my to-dos, all my everything. It literally is a brain dump. Take everything that is up here that is causing you stress, the meetings, and I write it down. And one of the things that I do is I time block in the morning. And so I give all my to-dos an exact time, and I'm intentional about when I'm going to think about it and when I'm going to stress about it and when I'm going to do it. So many of us wake up in the morning and we've just have this running to-do list. And sometimes it can be daunting to write out your to-do list. So what I find is when I'm purposeful and I take my to-do list and I give something a time and a place, it is like a stress reliever for me. It takes the stress off of me and I go, I am not going to worry about this until 2:00, or I am not going to check this until 4:00. And instead of being like, holy cow, I have 45 things that I have to do today, I take those 45 things and I give them a time and a place when I'm going to worry about them and when I'm going to do them. And so that for me has been super helpful. But I also use this to time block personal time too. So especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're working from home, it can be real easy to get sucked into working 24/7 or feel like you are always on. And so I also take some time every day to time block personal time throughout the day, whether it's to make a phone call to a loved one. Maybe it's 30 minutes of just downtime where you have your phone upstairs, your laptop upstairs, and you are completely unplugged for 30 minutes. But I highly suggest time blocking your day so that you are going into your day with full intentions and purpose for different times of the day. And that's just been one of the things that I found super helpful. Okay, so you may be wondering, that was a lot. Here is kind of how I would break it up if you are looking to start a new routine, about how much time I would take for each. Silence and affirmations, pretty much everything about 5 minutes, and then exercise 20 to 30, and then about 5 to 10 minutes for reading. So this is the Savers model that I was talking about. So I want you to look at these right now, and out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many of these habits do you currently have incorporated into your morning currently? 0, 1, 2. You can type it in the chat if you want.
Couldn't we exercise with audio headphones on and double up?
Yeah, you could do both. And honestly, you could listen to a podcast while like, there you go. Love it. Okay, so we got 3. That's good. 3 is a great number. 0, okay. And tracking is an important part about any goal. So if you have a goal of improving your morning routine, we all have to have a starting place. So this is your starting place. So I want you to think about, what new habits are you going to incorporate moving forward, or would you like to incorporate moving forward? Or which of these do you think is going to be the most challenging for you? And what are you going to do to overcome that? So how do you need to change? Maybe exercise is the one where you're like, I just don't know how I'm going to find the time. What do you need to do, or how do you need to rearrange your schedules so that you can hit on these 5 things? Do you need to maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier? Do you need to set better boundaries. Oh, another thing I didn't tell you guys is one of the other things besides my sweat and scripture before screen rule, I put my phone in do not disturb mode until 9 a.m. Do you guys know do not disturb? Okay, two things. One, I turn off my snooze. So you can actually go into your alarm and turn off the snooze function. So if you're struggling with snooze, you can turn off the snooze. My second tip for snoozing, if any of you are snoozers, plug your phone in on the opposite side of the room so that you physically have to get up to turn your alarm off in the morning. You physically have to get up out of bed. So you're not going to be sitting and scrolling in bed. You have to physically get up, turn your alarm clock off. Or 3, use an old school alarm clock. Do not set your alarm on your phone, because what turns into, oh, I'm just turning my alarm off, turns into you opening all these apps. So, I love that. One of my favorite books is Atomic Habits. If you haven't read that before, I highly recommend it, by James Clear. But one of the things he talks about is people that practice, everyone's like, Michelle, you have this solid morning routine. Like, how do you do it? One of the things that he talks about in the book is the people that seem to have the most self-discipline are the people that have to practice it and put themselves in a position where they have to exhibit extreme discipline the most. So it's all about priming your environment. So if you know that you are tempted to scroll every single day, you have to prime your environment or put yourself in a position where you're not going to have that temptation. So think about that as you're going into your morning routine. So with that, I get a lot of yeah buts. So yeah, but I'm not a morning person. Yeah, but I just don't have time. Yeah, but personal development is too woo-woo for me, because I said those yeah buts for about 2 years. And what I'll say is motivation is garbage. You're not going to feel like doing these things. But if we don't start doing the things you don't feel like doing, exercise, affirmation, gratitude, right? Things that are uncomfortable and push ourselves outside our comfort zone. If you don't start doing the things you don't feel like doing, you're going to wake up 1 year from today in the exact same place you are right now. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you are waking up every single day feeling 5,000 steps behind, if you're waking up every single day feeling stressed about work before you even get up out of bed, if you're going to do nothing to change your morning routine, you're going to wake up a year from now feeling exactly the same. So if changing up your morning routine kind of scares you a little bit, that's great. I want it to. Yes, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. I love that quote too. So what I wanted to, one last thing here before I let y'all go is, have y'all ever heard of the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins before? I love this. If you haven't, I want you to screenshot this, take a picture of this. When you're done, go on YouTube and listen to her TED Talk. Her TED Talk is amazing. And one of the things that she talks about is motivation is garbage. You're not going to and here's the thing, guys, I'm not motivated to wake up every single day at 4 a.m. I may wake up in the morning at 4 a.m., but I don't want to do it every single day. But one of the things that Mel Robbins talks about is this 5-second rule. And what the 5-second rule is, if you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain is going to kill that. So whether you have the impulse to answer a question on a Zoom call, you have 5 seconds. If you don't raise your hand or raise your hand virtually on the Zoom in 5 seconds, your brain is going to kill it. So let me explain to you how I use this in the morning. When my alarm clock goes off in the morning, I use it to blast myself out of bed. I know myself too well. 5 seconds is way too long for me. My brain will kill it in 3. So I personally use the 3-second rule. So every day when my alarm goes off, I give myself 3 seconds and I literally launch myself out of bed. And I usually stretch when I do it, because I find when I move my body, I'm more likely to get up out of bed. So every day my alarm goes off 4 a.m. I go 3, 2, 1, and I jump out of bed. I give myself 3 seconds. I literally launch up out of bed. I startle Mark sometimes, and then he's like, oh, Michelle's launching out of bed again. 3 seconds. But you have a 5-second sweet spot. The same thing goes, like, think about it, 5-second rule for so many things. I do a countdown with my kid, right? 3, 2, 1, and they act on it because they know within 3 seconds, mommy's going to do something, right? Or there's going to be a consequence. So I want you guys to try to, if you have an impulse to act, think about that. 5 seconds, give yourself 5 seconds. Just do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do it, right? If someone asks for a volunteer and you have an impulse like, "Ooh, I should do it," give yourself a countdown and just do it. But promise me, if nothing else, you will go listen to Mel Robbins' TED Talk after this presentation, because if that doesn't get you fired up, well, then I don't know what will, because she is super motivating and it's great. And I will say this, if something scares you and excites you at the same time, you should totally do it. And I'll end with this story here. 2 years ago, my dad approached me when I was coming home for a wedding, and was like, "Hey, do you want to speak at, the networking breakfast meeting that I'm a part of?" And here I was, I was only a year into coaching, stay-at-home mom. I knew like these meetings that my dad went to and everything. I didn't really know exactly who I would be speaking to or what I was going to be speaking about. But the opportunity to come speak to you guys, it scared the crap out of me, right? But it also really, really excited me. And that's how I knew I had to do it. So I want you to think about that, with whether it's business opportunities, whether it's opportunity, like maybe it's running a marathon, whatever it is. That's a quote or like a motto that I live by. If something scares me and excites me at the same time, that's like my little trigger, like, you just got to do it, Michelle. And I'm so glad that I did it, and I spoke to all of you, and I'm so glad that I had the chance to speak to you last year. And again, when my dad asked me again if I would speak, at the time I'm like, I'll find something. It excites me. I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to say yes. And so I will say this, anytime that you're going to switch up your routine, it's going to feel uncomfortable, right? But we really develop, and life really begins on the edge of our comfort zone. And so it's going to take time. It takes 21 days to form a habit, but I promise you, if you just incorporate these savers into your morning routine for the next 21 days, it truly can change your entire day, which will change your entire life. So who's up for the 21-day challenge? I want to know what practices, I want you guys to type in the chat box, are you going to add to your morning routine that you are currently not doing right now? It could be something as simple as affirmations. Write down 3 affirmations. Gratitude. Just one thing. And don't make me call you out one by one. Gratitude. I love that. Again, it's almost like a time capsule. Like going back, I can go back to like October of 2020. September 22nd, like, it's great to have exercise. Love that. Yay, affirming others. I love that. Affirming your own affirmations, but then also affirming others. So that, my friends, is all I had for today. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have, whether it be about morning routines, books, exercise. For those of you who don't know, I actually having a morning routine is something that's so new to me, but getting into a morning exercise and personal development routine helped me lose 50 pounds in 8 months, and I've kept it off for over 2 years now. So when I talk about the importance of a morning routine, this isn't just fluff, right? Like, it has the power to change your health. It has the power to change your marriage, your relationship with others. And when you're taking time to fill your cup every single day, the energy and the joy that you feel when you start your morning, that's going to overflow to everyone around you.
I think we have hit a very difficult time with the pandemic as far as personal development, because a lot of people have been sort of sequestered at home. We've all heard and talked about weight gain, with our lack of activity. We just sort of maybe sit at home and eat things that we shouldn't. We're not having that interpersonal contact that we once had. That's why I had put down affirming others. One of the things that I enjoy about the network breakfast is just the dialogue and getting to see and have exposure to other people. If we're at home just working all day in front of a computer with no social interaction, we don't have the opportunity to affirm others as well as affirm ourselves, or to receive affirmation or encouragement from others. That's why before our presentation started, Jeff and I and Tom, we were just talking about we need to have at least some sort of activity in the near future to get together personally, instead of having holograms or seeing one another on a computer, but just actually having that personal interaction occasionally. I think it lifts us all up.
I think too, that touches on, so I don't know if you guys know the 5 love languages, but a lot of people, words of affirmation is how they receive, like, receiving praise and affirmations is very important to people. So when we're in this season of isolation and seclusion, it affects people mentally and physically, like the weight gain. I know me personally, just for those of you who don't know, I run accountability groups that take place on a digital platform outside of social media, but it's a place where people can check in every single day to hold them 5. Yes. Love that. Jeff has all the books. I should have, he's like, hold on, Atomic Habits. Here you go. But in this accountability group, it was great. So all of the workouts that I do are at home, and the workouts that the girls do are at home, but we have a place that we check in every single day, to hold ourselves accountable, but also just to encourage and affirm one another and having that space. And so you guys being a part of the network breakfast, this is like an accountability. This is accountability for you. Like, you are all showing up here today. And I encourage you to leverage one another as accountability partners, whether it be in your business or in your own personal journey. If you want to start, everybody, Jeff says he's going to start a gratitude journal. Who's going to be his accountability buddy, 2 weeks from now, being like, Jeff, are you still writing in that journal? Right? Like, you can leverage this group for things, for the things that we talked about today as well. But having accountability really is a game changer. And I think that's been the missing piece for so many people, especially during the pandemic. Accountability in their work, accountability in your health and fitness journey. And so that's one of the reasons I've never been busier actually than this past year, from a business standpoint. But it's also been such a blessing because my business is built off of the virtual platform of working out from home and checking out with others. I work out with women in Boston, Los Angeles, like all over the place, but we all come together, and accountability really is a missing piece.
I've got 2 things to add. One is a positive attitude. Be somebody that other people want to be around. They have enough problems without you adding to it.
And energies are contagious.
You become the solution. You become part of the answer, at least part of their answer, whoever that is. And when somebody asks me something, 99.9% of the time, the answer from me is yes.
Can you do it, Tom? Can you do it, Tom? Can you do this job? Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Okay, that was number one. Number two is you might get a kick out of this. Maybe you won't. I was going to mention this earlier, but way back in August 8th of 1989, I wrote something down, and it goes, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. And at the time, look at that. And I keep this with me always. 1989.
I was 3 days old.
There you go. I was going to mention it, but then you brought it up, and I thought it's not as though I missed my chance. Believe me, because this is something for me. It just happens that I wrote it down, do
you keep that on display? Is that like in your office?
No.
Do you look at that?
I actually keep this in the clear cellophane part of my checkbook. It's been there. I use the same outer cover since then, and I keep that in there.
What's a check?
In there since I said I have a bunch of these that I've written since like 1983. That wasn't like a coming out or anything. It's just that I started writing things down around that time.
Yeah.
I mean, I started thinking about heavy things when I was about 15. I knew I was a little bit different, bordering on eccentric. Maybe now it's not even bordering anymore. I'm an eccentric. And part of that is it's a positive attitude so that when I'm there, something will happen. And more times than not, it's good. And that's what keeps me going. And because I never married, I don't have it. This is the thrust of my life, is to serve and to be of value to those that need it. And one of the things everybody's mentioning, what they read. A great thing to read, and I read it often. I come back to it. It's called the Epic of Gilgamesh. The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the first religious writings ever, and it's a great uplifting story about a character that wants to be immortal, and he's godlike in the way he presents himself to the rest of the world. And not that I'm thinking that I'm going to be godlike, but I try to be as much as possible. When these days they ask, what would Jesus do? And when things are thrust on me, and that would be the appropriate, when they're thrust on me, when all else fails, somebody comes to me and says, this is what's happening, whether it's business related, financial related, emotional related. I respond in that way. I respond in a way that we're going to be fine. And here's how, and here's why, and here's what's next. There we are.
Love that. Anyone else have any questions?
Not that I'll ask while we're being recorded.
Yeah, he wants to get down to the nitty gritty. See, so we wait until we bid the YouTubers a fond adieu, and then we can like open up. We're not recording anymore, so all of a sudden we're like a bunch of sailors.
And you're recording this right now while you say that, so that's awesome.
Well, this way they know what's going to happen after I say goodbye.
And
this is why you need to come to these meetings live, folks.
Yeah, actually, this is why you need to watch the video till the end.
Yeah.
And subscribe.
Thank you, Rob.
Bye, Rob. Thank you. Thank each and every one of you. And we all thank Michele for a wonderful, uplifting, and exciting presentation for our Tuesday morning at the network breakfast once again. This is going in the can. It'll go up on YouTube, and I'll send out the link for everybody so that we'll have an opportunity to look at it again and get those lists in case you didn't write it down. We'll have everything quantified as per Michele Badalamenti. Thank you, Michele.
You're welcome.
This is great. And I'm going to thank you.
Don't wait a year to come back.
Oh, right. Hey, if it's virtual, then I don't have to.
Yeah. So look at the time, man. We really blew through this, but it was so exciting and it was so informative that the time really flew. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike, Jeff, Brian. Thanks for showing up. Marty, thanks for coming on in. Ari, it was wonderful seeing you. And Bridget, I'm sorry we weren't able to see you. Hat, hair, or no.
Sorry. You guys, whenever you guys decide if you want to do something in person, I'll definitely love to come and see everyone. I miss all you guys. It's been a while.
Yes. Well, we'll figure out something. We'll kick it around, and I think I like the idea of something happy hour later on in the day, and we could spend a few minutes with some orange juice or coffee, cafe mocha, something. So anyway, for this Tuesday, thanks so much, all of our contestants, and of course, the lovely and talented Michele Badalamenti. Thanks so much, you YouTubers out there. It's all for you today. Thanks for watching till the end. And we'll see you again.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
And it was nice seeing all of you.
Thank you.
Nice hearing.
Okay. All right. All YouTubers out there will be seeing you next Tuesday morning. You tune in, will you? And watch to the end. Subscribe and click the bell, and everything will be all right with the world. Thanks so much. And we bid you a fond adieu. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye.